I have his cell phone. Didn't say that.
This is what happens when a grieving wife challenges the internet's favorite rumor.
But Charlie and I we promised each other we would never live in fear. And he would say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
Alex Clark, one of the female podcasters at TBUSA, went off on a huge rant on X and may have exposed something seriously shady in the process. What started as her trying to prove that Charlie was distancing himself from Candace Owens quickly turned into a total mess. She kept pushing the idea that they were never really close, saying he ignored her calls and avoided dealing with her directly. But while going on that online spree, she appeared to let something major slip out. This is where the whole chocolate theory situation comes in, and people online are going wild over it. One specific tweet, along with several others, is now getting a ton of attention because critics think it makes TBUSA and Erica look even more suspicious than they already did. The backlash got even louder after a user on X named Jane posted, "Oh, so now you heed the warning that Charlie doesn't trust someone, but when he texts everyone saying they are going to kill me, you all brushed it off. I hope you all feel absolutely awful for ignoring Charlie's concerns." So Alex answered, no, we didn't brush anything off. We knew he meant the left, and we tried to get him to wear a bulletproof vest on campus stops and to only do indoors events. He refused. If you look at this tweet without knowing everything that's happened over the last 8 months, it honestly doesn't seem all that suspicious at first glance. But once you know the full background, the whole thing starts looking completely different. And the fact that Alex even posted it publicly ended up putting Erica Kirk in a really awkward position online. To understand why people are reacting so strongly, you have to go back to how this whole argument even started. The tweet came after Alex got into a heated back and forth with Aubrey Lage, a former TPUSA employee who claims she was fired unfairly and later reached out to Candace with inside information. That detail alone already had people paying close attention because it connected several names that were already surrounded by online rumors and drama. A lot of people watching this unfold felt like Alex had been holding things in for a long time and finally snapped publicly. The tension had clearly been building behind the scenes. Then Andrew Colvett reportedly stepped in and basically said, "Okay, fine, you can answer some tweets." She completely lost control of the situation, and the whole thing spiraled fast. Before long, she started posting screenshots of private chats with Charlie, which immediately got people talking online. Critics pointed out the double standard too, because suddenly Charlie's recorded opinions and messages were being used publicly when it helped defend their side. But whenever old clips or comments hurt the narrative, the response was always that Charlie changed his mind. People noticed that switch real quick. But this story gets way crazier, so it's important to break it down step by step instead of jumping ahead. According to the X trending page headline, the drama centered around TPUSA, insiders clash over leaks and Kirk's firing, and the situation was reportedly updated on May 22nd. The online fight exploded again after alleged March 2025 chat messages surfaced. In those chats, Kirk reportedly described Legge as untrustworthy after she allegedly used a job offer to negotiate for a raise before still going after the competing role anyway. Clark also claimed that Legge was fired and later began sharing information with Candace Owens just 6 days after Kirk's September 10th, 2025 incident at Utah Valley University. The accusations and timing immediately sent social media into chaos. Lage pushed back hard by posting messages that allegedly showed praise from Erica, Kirk's widow, along with proof that Kirk had supported her White House interview opportunity. She also connected her February 2026 firing claims to what she described as a much larger staff shakeup happening inside TPUSA at the time. That part really caught attention online because people were already speculating about internal problems behind the scenes. On top of that, a GoFundMe connected to affected staff reportedly raised more than $70,000 as rumors about financial stress inside the organization continued spreading everywhere. Then the situation got even more explosive. Someone connected to TPUSA shared a clip of Candace talking about Erica and questioning whether her emotional reactions after Charlie's death seemed genuine. The person posting it was responding to another viral tweet that claimed Erica might fool Charlie, but she's not fooling the majority of the world, along with more harsh criticism aimed at the situation surrounding his death. That's when Marina Minas, who works at TPUSA, jumped into the conversation and replied, "Exactly, just waiting for her to say it out loud. She hated Charlie and treated him horribly." That comment immediately fueled even more online backlash and speculation. Aubrey, who many people already recognized from a viral video where she described what she said were harsh conditions surrounding her firing from TPUSA, suddenly became part of the center of the controversy again. Around the same time, screenshots of alleged text conversations between her and Candace were spreading all over the internet, including messages previously discussed in earlier coverage of the drama. Erica and Andrew Colvett had previously accused Candace of implying that Erica was responsible for Charlie's death during one of Erica's emotional public speeches. That accusation spread everywhere online at the time and became a massive talking point. Later, though, people pointed out that the comment in question allegedly came from a private joking conversation between Candace and Aubrey, not some serious public accusation the way it was first presented. Even after that clarification, the damage online had already exploded. Then Aubrey fired back directly after someone reposted Candace's clip. To make this easier to follow, she was specifically responding to Marina Minas, the TPUSA staffer who had criticized Erica and weighed in on the controversy. Aubrey wrote, "You spent more time showing up late, gossiping, and trashing Tyler Boyer behind the scenes than actually contributing to the mission. Funny enough, Tyler got you the job in the first place. One time, you literally told me you only worked there because you wanted a leadership role and knew you'd never get one at your previous job. Now, your online farming engagement and pretending to speak for everyone else, including Charlie. Suddenly, you're the authority on loyalty? Please, Marina." That response immediately made the feud even messier because now former employees and current staff were openly dragging each other in public. At that point, it stopped looking like a small disagreement and started looking like a full internal meltdown happening in front of everyone online. Honestly, situations like this are exactly why online feuds can spiral out of control fast. If somebody starts attacking you publicly or spreading claims you believe are false, some people feel the need to respond directly to clear things up. But once private conversations, screenshots, and personal accusations start getting posted publicly, the entire situation can turn chaotic almost overnight. A lot of people believe it's usually smarter not to start public drama in the first place, because once things go online, they can spiral fast. But after Aubrey spoke out, TPUSA supporters quickly rallied behind Alex Clark, who came in swinging hard with a long response aimed directly at Aubrey. Alex wrote, "The audacity of you lecturing anyone about loyalty is genuinely astounding. You were fired after repeatedly losing Charlie's trust, getting disciplined multiple times, leveraging another job offer to get a raise, taking the raise, then taking the other job anyway, and hiding a second full-time job from TPUSA. She didn't stop there either. Alex continued, "Isn't your friend Candace interested where money was supposedly going? Maybe she should start with you," before accusing Aubrey of allegedly trying to siphon as much as possible without the company knowing what was really happening behind the scenes. The entire thread immediately grabbed attention because of how direct and personal the accusations were. Then Alex escalated things even further by saying, "I hate to embarrass someone this significantly, but it has to be done. These screenshots from Charlie speak for themselves. Charlie could read people, and he read you quite well when everyone else, including Marina, was trying to give you multiple chances." The biggest shock came near the end of the post when she added, "Then 6 days after Charlie died, you were already leaking to Candace. Maybe sit this and any and all conversations about loyalty to Charlie out." That final line especially caused a huge reaction online because people felt the entire situation had crossed into deeply personal territory. Critics accused both sides of airing private workplace issues publicly, while supporters argued they were defending themselves after months of rumors and accusations spreading across social media. Alex also posted several screenshots that she claimed showed Charlie privately saying he didn't trust Aubrey. Those messages instantly became a huge talking point online, with supporters saying they backed up Alex's claims, while critics questioned whether the screenshots showed the full story. Aubrey responded fast and pushed back hard. She wrote, "Your receipts consist of cropped screenshots from a group chat you weren't even part of, screenshots that could easily be missing context, selectively edited, or conveniently cut before and after the actual conversation." She then argued that there were other conversations people weren't seeing and posted what she described as a completely separate direct text exchange between herself and Erica from a later point in time. Aubrey added, "One last receipt for good measure. May 9th, 2025. We're so grateful for you. Context matters, full conversation matters." That line immediately got attention because she was basically accusing Alex of presenting only the pieces that helped her argument. Aubrey then shared the exchange she had with Erica. In the message, Aubrey wrote, "My favorite thing to tell people about working at Turning Point is how grateful I am to work for a couple who truly leads by example. You both walk the walk, and it shows not just within TPUSA, but to the public too. Grateful for your faithful leadership, and I hope you had a wonderful 4-year anniversary." Erica responded, "Thank you. We're so grateful for you." That's where things got even messier because Alex then came back and posted what she said were screenshots of the full conversation surrounding those messages. The argument quickly turned into both sides battling over screenshots, timelines, and context, while people online tried to figure out who was leaving out key details. One of the screenshots Alex shared allegedly showed Charlie saying, "I don't trust her. She burned through trust with us on the White House thing." That message immediately became one of the biggest points of debate in the entire situation. The conversation continued with people in the chat trying to clarify what exactly happened. One person responded, "Oh, news to me. I thought it was a Jake Page thing." Another message claimed Aubrey had been communicating with both Jake and others involved before allegedly stepping away from the process without properly closing the loop. Someone then replied, "No good." The discussion went deeper into the White House opportunity itself. According to the messages, Charlie allegedly believed Aubrey's interest in the role was partly about using the opportunity to negotiate for a stronger offer from TPUSA. One message stated she didn't act on the White House job, but her intentions with it was to leverage an offer to get a better offer from TPUSA, which I didn't like. Another message added that this was why there had been hesitation about believing she had outside offers in the first place. At another point in the chat, someone suggested, "My suggestion is to not use her at all. She's not trustworthy." There was also a personal comment made about Aubrey's boyfriend, which quickly added even more unnecessary drama to the conversation. Then the discussion shifted again, with another person explaining that Aubrey had supposedly said she was no longer pursuing the White House position after being told that interviewing should only happen if she seriously intended to accept the role. Another message argued that she had used the organization's White House connections to strengthen her position elsewhere. But stepping back from all the online chaos, a lot of this honestly sounds like the kind of disagreements and trust issues that happen inside workplaces all the time. Employees negotiate offers, companies question intentions, managers debate trust, and internal frustrations happen behind closed doors. The difference here is that private workplace disputes ended up exploding publicly across social media for everyone to dissect in real time. A lot of people online started acting like this situation was some shocking scandal, but honestly, parts of it sound like pretty standard workplace drama. If someone feels underpaid after working nonstop, it's not unusual for them to say, "Look, I've got another offer, but I'd rather stay here if we can work something out." That kind of negotiation happens in companies everywhere. Managers do it, employees do it, and corporations deal with it all the time. That's why so many people were debating whether Aubrey being involved automatically made her an unreliable source for Candace, or whether people were exaggerating the situation completely. Anyone who has worked in a professional environment knows employees often try to stay on good terms with leadership. Some people keep it simple, while others go over the top with praise and flattering messages to maintain relationships or protect their position. And that's the key point with the texts Aubrey shared involving Erica. The messages where she said things like, "You lead by example," and "I'm so grateful for you," were viewed by many people as typical workplace compliments directed toward a boss. Some critics treated the texts like major evidence, while others argued it was just normal employee behavior and nothing unusual at all. From what was being discussed in those leaked conversations, Aubrey apparently believed the person she confided in had informed Charlie about her interest in another job opportunity connected to the White House. But according to the messages that later surfaced, Charlie may have learned about it through another route entirely. That misunderstanding allegedly damaged trust between them and became one of the major reasons tensions escalated behind the scenes. At the end of the day, all of this is still alleged. None of us were sitting inside those private conversations when everything supposedly happened. So right now, it's basically Alex's version against Aubrey's version. And honestly, to a lot of people watching online, it came across more like classic workplace conflict than some earth-shattering revelation. That's why many critics started pointing out something else entirely. They noticed that people connected to TPUSA seemed far more eager to argue publicly about whether Charlie trusted Aubrey than to directly respond to the much bigger accusations floating around online. A lot of viewers were basically asking, does anyone actually care whether Charlie liked Aubrey personally? The debate over job offers and workplace trust suddenly felt tiny compared to the larger controversy surrounding the organization. And that's where the backlash toward Alex really intensified. Critics argued that if TPUSA supporters were willing to flood social media with screenshots about Aubrey, then why not release actual evidence supporting their repeated claims that Charlie supposedly disliked Candace or wasn't close to her? According to people online, they kept insisting Charlie wanted distance from Candace, but never showed screenshots that clearly proved it. Meanwhile, when it came to Aubrey, private chats and internal conversations suddenly started appearing everywhere. That contrast is exactly why the tweet mentioned earlier became such a massive talking point. People felt Alex got so aggressive while fighting online that she may have revealed more than she intended to. She was responding to everybody nonstop, almost like a pit bull charging into every argument. And some viewers think she crossed a line by oversharing details publicly. One of the tweets that really caught attention said, "Also now you heed the warning that Charlie doesn't trust someone, but when he texts everyone saying they are going to kill me, you all brushed it off." That line immediately stopped people in their tracks because critics online believed it accidentally opened the door to much bigger questions than the original argument was even about. The original post said, "I hope you all feel absolutely awful for ignoring Charlie's concerns." And that line instantly fueled even more debate online. People immediately started revisiting old statements, interviews, and public comments connected to the situation. Alex then responded directly, writing, "No, we did not brush anything off. We knew he meant the left, and we tried to get him to wear a bulletproof vest on campus stops and to only do indoor events. He refused." That reply is what really sent social media into overdrive. Critics quickly pointed out what they believed were inconsistencies between Alex's comments and earlier public statements that had already circulated online. Many people remembered previous claims from Erica where she reportedly said she had access to Charlie's phone and did not find messages saying, "They are going to kill me," or similar wording connected to specific threats. Because of that, some viewers argued Alex's version raised even more questions instead of clearing things up. People began comparing timelines, public interviews, and screenshots all over again, trying to figure out whether the stories actually matched or if details had changed over time. The situation became a huge online debate almost instantly. For many following the controversy, that moment stood out because they felt it reopened a major issue people thought had already been addressed publicly. Supporters defended Alex by saying security concerns around public political events are common, while critics argued the conflicting statements only deepened suspicions surrounding the entire situation. Things got even more confusing after a live stream moment that viewers still bring up constantly online. According to the discussions surrounding the stream, Candace claimed it was Andrew Colvett who told Erica that certain messages allegedly existed. Then, during the live conversation, Erica reportedly responded by saying the messages had been sent through Telegram, where chats can disappear automatically. People watching closely noticed another detail too. Erica reportedly asked Candace whether she actually had the messages herself. Critics online argued that once it became clear Candace did not physically have the texts, the explanation shifted toward the idea that Charlie was referring to threats coming from the left. Now, critics are comparing that moment to Alex's more recent statement, where she claimed everyone already knew from the beginning that Charlie supposedly meant threats from political opponents, which was allegedly why people around him encouraged extra security measures like wearing a vest at public campus events. That's the part that sparked even more online arguments, because viewers started asking which version of events was actually accurate. Supporters say the statements can still fit together, while critics argue the explanations keep changing depending on the situation. Either way, the back and forth created another huge wave of speculation online, with people dissecting every clip and statement frame by frame. That's also where the chocolate theory reference comes in. For newer viewers who may not know the story behind it, the phrase comes from a personal example about seeing someone with obvious chocolate all over their face while they insist they didn't eat any. The idea is basically that when somebody keeps changing explanations while evidence appears right in front of everyone, people start becoming more suspicious instead of less suspicious. So when I asked my son, "What's that on your face?" he immediately answered, "I didn't eat Nutella." That's how the whole chocolate theory joke started in my family. Nobody even accused him of eating Nutella specifically, but he panicked and basically exposed himself while trying too hard to sound innocent. Since then, we've used chocolate theory to describe situations where someone tries so hard to explain away suspicion that they accidentally reveal something they probably weren't supposed to reveal in the first place. It's kind of like a Freudian slip, except way more entertaining. That's why people online started applying the phrase to this entire situation. Critics began wondering how many people around Charlie allegedly knew about those messages discussing threats against him. Did Erica know at the time or not? Because depending on which public statement people point to, the timeline starts sounding very different. Some viewers questioned why, if these concerns were allegedly shared with people inside TPUSA, Erica would later say she only became aware of certain messages afterward. Others speculated whether Charlie may have kept some concerns private from certain people in his personal life. And of course, critics raised another possibility entirely: that public statements may have changed over time because people were trying to protect themselves, protect others, or avoid additional backlash online. None of that proves wrongdoing by itself, but it does explain why so many people keep calling the situation confusing and suspicious. The deeper internet users dig into old clips, live streams, screenshots, and interviews, the more they feel like the details stop lining up neatly. And apparently, there was another tweet that pushed the controversy even further and added another layer to the entire debate. At this point, critics online felt like Alex was revealing more about internal TPUSA dynamics than she probably intended to. Someone tweeted, "Pretty sure the point everyone has been making is that Charlie trusted the wrong people." And instead of leaving it there, Alex immediately brought Candace back into the conversation. She responded, "No, he was the only one who had perfect discernment." On Candace, not inviting her to speak at AmFest the last several years, and refusing to be the one to talk to her and passing her off to others to deal with, to Aubrey, and many more. We wanted to look the other way. He knew. That tweet instantly exploded because people started comparing it to years of public comments and private messages that painted a much more complicated relationship between Charlie and Candace. Critics argued Alex was trying to rewrite history, while supporters claimed she was exposing what was really happening behind the scenes. According to previous accounts that had already circulated publicly, Charlie reportedly told Candace he could not openly support some of her statements regarding one of America's closest allies because major donors and investors connected to the organization were upset about the controversy. Publicly, there was distance between them for professional and political reasons. Candace reportedly understood that situation at the time, especially since she was also focused on major personal events happening in her life. But despite the public distance, multiple messages and clips have been shared over time showing Charlie speaking positively about Candace and describing her as a friend. There were also reports from people close to both of them claiming they stayed in contact privately even after public tensions became obvious online. One of the details people continue bringing up came from Byron Coleman, who reportedly said in August 2025 that Candace showed him her phone and that messages on it confirmed she and Charlie remained friendly and stayed in touch until the end. That's why Alex's comments triggered such a huge reaction, because many viewers felt they directly conflicted with evidence and statements that had already been discussed publicly for months. There was another exchange that really shocked people online because many viewers felt it accidentally reflected worse on TPUSA than on the people Alex was trying to attack. Alex posted, "Candace won't touch anything I expose today because it proves she has horrific discernment and untrustworthy sources. I could have gone way harder, like video of the hotel room rager party after Charlie died. But anyways, I have better things to do, like release a new episode tonight on my Top 10 Worldwide Health podcast." That tweet immediately sparked backlash because people started asking a very obvious question. If a party like that actually happened right after Charlie's death, what exactly does that say about the culture inside the organization and the people working there? Critics online argued that the comment ended up making TPUSA look far worse than Aubrey. Many people pointed out the contradiction too. Publicly, supporters had condemned political opponents and online commentators for insensitive reactions surrounding Charlie's death. So when Alex casually referenced an alleged rager party involving insiders, critics felt the statement completely undermined the image the organization had been trying to project. Instead of damaging Aubrey's credibility, some viewers believed Alex accidentally shifted attention onto TPUSA itself and raised more uncomfortable questions about leadership, staff behavior, and internal culture after the tragedy. People online kept saying she seemed so focused on attacking others that she didn't realize how much she was exposing about the organization in the process. Critics also brought up another detail that reignited debate around Alex personally. They noted that she appeared in a Wall Street Journal article only 8 days after Charlie's death, and screenshots from that feature quickly started circulating again online as people revisited the timeline surrounding everything that happened. She was photographed standing right in front of Charlie's memorial, surrounded by flowers, candles, letters, and tributes from supporters everywhere. And the headline attached to the article immediately caught people's attention because of how centered it seemed around Alex herself during such a sensitive moment. The headline reportedly read, "Charlie Kirk made her a star. Here is how she plans to honor him." That instantly divided people online. Some saw it as a normal media feature about someone continuing work connected to a major public figure, while critics thought the timing and presentation came across awkward and overly self-focused considering the circumstances. Screenshots spread fast, and people debated whether the article was respectful tribute coverage or something that looked more like personal branding. But the bigger issue many people keep circling back to is the confusion surrounding the alleged threat messages and who supposedly knew about them. Critics are asking how Erica could publicly suggest Charlie never sent messages saying people were going to harm him, while later comments from others made it sound like concerns about threats were already widely discussed internally. That's the question fueling so much speculation online. If staff members were allegedly encouraging extra security measures because they believed he faced serious threats, then people naturally wonder who was informed when they knew, and why different public explanations seem to exist. Some viewers think the inconsistencies are innocent misunderstandings, while others believe the changing details make the entire situation look far more suspicious. And that's why the debate keeps growing, because people feel like every new response raises another unanswered question instead of finally clearing things up. At this point, the entire situation has turned into a giant web of contradictions, leaked screenshots, public statements, and people trying to defend themselves online while accidentally revealing even more. The deeper people dig, the more confusing the timeline starts to look. And that's exactly why so many viewers are still questioning what was really happening behind the scenes at TPUSA after Charlie's death. What started as Alex Clark trying to discredit Aubrey and defend the organization somehow turned into critics accusing TPUSA insiders of exposing their own internal chaos. Between the arguments over loyalty, the leaked messages, the claims about security concerns, and the conflicting explanations about who knew what, social media has been nonstop with theories and debates. And the biggest reason this story keeps exploding is because every time someone tries to shut down the speculation, another detail surfaces that sends people right back into detective mode. Whether you believe Alex, Aubrey, Erica, Candace, or nobody at all, one thing is clear. This controversy is far from over, and people online are watching every single move closely. But I want to know what you think. Do you think Alex accidentally exposed more than she meant to? Do the statements line up for you, or do the contradictions raise even more questions? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, because this entire situation has people completely divided right now. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone trying to keep up with all the drama. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update, because with how fast this story keeps moving, there's probably going to be even more twists coming soon.